are back. If you have not yet put on the kettle to make your cup of morning hot beverage, wait a minute. There's a gentleman here who's going to teach you the art of brewing tea. And trust me, it really is an art. I was just saying to Doug, normally for me it's be the kettle, the tea bag, and the cup.
Yeah,
and gone clear.
But
all of these gadgets.
I mean, we are artists. That's what I mean.
Yeah. All of these gadgets and stuff that I am seeing here tells me that we can begin to make the tea. We're going to say a special good morning to Aug30. He is a tea specialist. Is it a special name for people who are connoisseurs of tea?
No, not really. The people who are in the industry and who have years of experience are called tea masters.
Tea masters, okay.
But he's a tea master.
He's a tea master.
No, I'm not there yet.
You're working towards a tea master.
I'm getting a certification courses I'm doing to become, I guess, a tea master. That's my ultimate goal. But that's years and years of tasting teas and learning about them, and it's a long, long process, and I'm just starting out. I've only done the first 2 levels of the certification courses.
How many levels are they?
There's 6, and they get more intense as you go on. The first 2 are one-day courses. The next 3rd one is 5 different levels in that one level. So it's 5 days, really. So it's a long process.
Why is there a resurgence
of tea?
Tea. All of a sudden, tea has become, I don't want to say faddish, but I travel a lot, and I'm seeing people sitting in places
ordering
having
tea.
I wouldn't necessarily say a resurgence, because tea, believe it or not, tea is the 2nd most consumed beverage in the world.
After coffee?
After water.
After water.
After water.
Interesting.
That's right. So it's not that there's a resurgence. It's just that you're probably just more aware of it now. The benefits of tea are there. The art of doing tea, just to slow down your pace and really enjoy a good cup of a very, very good beverage and very healthy beverage.
Well, let's talk about types of tea. We grew up on green tea.
No, green tea.
What else is there? Chamomile? I mean, actually.
Yeah, jasmine. You know, green tea is now very popular.
Okay, see, we don't consider those teas. Those are herbals or food infusions or what we call tisanes.
Okay.
Well,
that's a technical term.
What is a tea?
Tea comes from one particular plant called the Camellia sinensis plant. And then the liquor that you get from that leaf is also called tea. That is what tea is. If it has the Camellia sinensis tea plant, we call it tea. Otherwise, it's called a herbal or an infusion or a tisane.
And how did you get the variations?
That's it, because all tea comes from one tea plant. It's just a matter of how the processing is done on the tea leaf. White tea basically is just the raw tea leaf that's been dried for packaging purposes. And so it's a very natural state of the tea leaf. Has the most antioxidants, the flavonoids in the tea, and the least caffeine as well. Although there's some debate about that. It's not cut and dry. Green tea now, it has some processing done on it, but the main step in the processing that determines what type of tea you have is the oxidation process, where the tea is oxidized and allowed to react with the air and people say ferment, but it's really an oxidation process. Green tea has no oxidation done on it, but it has some processing done where it's rolled and fired and so on. I'll get into that a little bit more. And black teas are fully oxidized where they turn completely black. So that's the differences between the tea. And I heard you mention oolong. How did you know about the coconut oolong?
My producer, she's been singing its praises for 2 days.
Yeah, oh right, yes, she's had it, because I know you haven't had it.
No, but I had a monk's tea, and she told me you were coming, I said, you gotta bring the monk's tea.
I did bring that, but the coconut oolong is amazing. It's an oolong tea which lies between the green and the black in terms of oxidation. And that one's a flavored oolong. It has coconut flavoring in it.
But let me squeeze in this question quickly. When you start to get into your Earl Greys and your jasmine teas and your oolongs and your Ceylon teas, etc., your breakfast tea, is that about, is that something like to do with the actual processing, or is that?
Yeah, well, it depends. Breakfast teas are usually black teas. Earl Grey has bergamot oil in it, so it gives that flavoring. So different teas have different flavorings attached to it. Jasmine green tea has the jasmine flavoring. The Earl Grey, like I said, is bergamot. Some breakfast teas don't have any flavoring, just a combination of black teas, just to make a uniform batch so that they can consistently reproduce that flavor that you're accustomed to. So it's just different teas have, I don't even know how many teas there are out there. There are thousands and thousands. We have 80 in our tea shop. I'm working up to about 150 different teas, and that doesn't include the tea espressos and so on. So I mean, there's a long list of teas. We are trying to go into blending our own tea, so you can come in and say, well, I want this particular tea.
So when you're talking about 80 different types of teas, though, I mean,
I'm talking about flavoring.
Flavorings, okay.
There are only 4 basic types of tea.
Which is white, green, black.
Five. There's white, there's the green, there's black, there's the oolong, and then there's a tea called pu'er tea, or some people say pu'er tea, which is an aged black tea or green tea. And that's supposed to be the best tea for slimming.
If you're just joining us, this is Aug30, or budding tea master, and he's been telling us earlier about the different types of teas. Now we're going to learn how to make a cup of tea. Let's start with the essentials.